What's happening, everybody? Steve here at Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com, coming back to you with another video. And I put out a post in the Book Flipper Facebook community. If you guys aren't a part of that, how do they join?
Check it out, facebook.com/the Book Flipper community. Pretty sure, but just look at the Book Flipper community.
Yeah,
we are almost to 10,000 strong.
Wow!
So we are very, very close. We're going to be doing some giveaways. Actually, I think we're 300 or 400 people away. So join us, tell some friends, and participate in some of the giveaways.
Yeah, if you guys are trying to figure out, all right, I want to start a book selling business, but I don't know what tools and supplies to use, we're going to be covering in this video the tools and supplies that we use, even softwares for scouting, for listing, for shipping, and we're really going to go through and just break it down, because we had a question that came in your group, in the Facebook group, and there was a young woman asking, what tools and supplies do you use? What are the best ones? So, Caleb, you've been selling books for how long now, man? What, 5-10 years?
Seriously, selling for 5 or 6 years, yeah. Dabbling for 10 to 12 to, I don't want to get into it, but yeah.
Right. And so he's one of the smartest booksellers I've ever met. You taught a lot to me, to my mother, Mama Profit, and to hundreds of other sellers. So if there's probably one person who's impacted the book selling community the most, you're probably up there, man.
Well,
you're definitely up there. So we're going to share with you guys a bunch of cool content. You can follow Caleb on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm going to leave links to all that down below, the Book Flipper community. But let's just dive right in. Is there anything you want to preface this video with before we start kind of showing some of the tools and stuff?
Yeah, so we'll try and stay high level, but we'll get into the weeds where it's appropriate. One of the challenges, one of the barriers, again, we talked about in some of the sourcing videos, anybody with a smartphone is your competition. So you got to get creative with sourcing, but also keep in mind that the whole Amazon game, like we're in their sandbox. And so you have to figure out how to play by their rules. And not a lot, like once you learn it, it becomes second nature. You and I could both list a box of books in roughly the same amount of time. We'd be pretty good at it, right? You can improve your efficiencies. But there's stuff you got to figure out. How do you get a scanner to connect to your phone? What app do you use? How do you list books? How do you label them? What printers do you use? So we're just going to walk through that. Try and make just a one-stop shop, so you have a rough overview of what are you getting into when you're getting into the Amazon.
And I'll put some links down below to Amazon, or if it's cheaper on eBay, I'll do my best to link you guys up to the best source as well.
Yeah, and even if you're not a bookseller, so my niche is books. Books are the greatest way, in my opinion. There's very few restrictions on them. They're very easy to research. You can fit 30 or 40 in a box. Of course, they're heavy. But books are a great way to learn. It's kind of the gateway drug to get into Amazon. And then if you want to get into other categories, that's great. But on Amazon, it takes a little bit of time to build up your feedback, to build up your credibility. And so books are a great way. They're cheap. People don't want them necessarily. And so books are a great way to start. And then if you're like me and you love them and there's just a future in it, you can stick with it. Yeah. Or you can branch out later. And Raiken's got a ton of other content related to wholesale, private label, liquidation auctions, etc.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't see the videos we recorded, hopefully this is in sequence. We did a video on some of the best ways to source books. There was a 2-part video, so I'll put links to that down below. But with that being said, man, you ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to start with, this is kind of broken down into 3 sections. Scouting books, listing books, and then shipping books. I'm sure there's some other things we could probably touch on post-shipment, but we're really going to cover like the meat and potatoes of kind of how to get started, what we use, and what we believe is the best. Of course, there's always more than one way to skin a cat.
Absolutely.
But this is what we're using personally in our business. We're not just promoting things to promote it. I'm using everything we're talking about for the most part. Maybe we have a couple things that are different. But all right, let's start with scouting.
I'm curious what we differ on. We'll see as we go.
So scanning books. Everyone's always asking, what do you use to scan your books? And for me, for the first 4.5 years, I used the free Amazon Seller app, which I believe, if you're new, if you're on a budget, I would start with the Amazon Seller app, because you don't really want to start spending money where you don't have to at first. Once you start making money, you can start reinvesting. But Amazon Seller app is 100% free. You can scan books, but there are limitations to the data and the speed and different things like that.
Sure.
And you're using, I'm guessing you probably use that software. It's called, I think, Scout IQ.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I think it's orange. They like orange for some reason, like Home Depot. But yeah, I use Scout IQ. I am biased. It's my baby. I mean, not my real baby. I have a real baby at home. But yeah, so I use Scout IQ. The other part is the barcode scanners.
Yeah.
So you'll oftentimes see these, kind of zoom in there. This is an Opticon 2002. I've had this exact one, for probably 4 years now. So they're super durable.
Small.
Yeah, it's about the size of a 9-volt battery, and it can, you know, it shoots a laser out essentially, just a, you know, just a barcode. There's tons of scanners on the market. What are you using?
Yeah, so I actually, I used to have I still have it upstairs. I believe it's the 2006 version.
Yep, got an upgraded version of this.
But I stopped using it like 4 years ago because it was so challenging to connect to my phone. Like it would always disconnect, and it was just, it
you
became...
had to have the scanner sheet with you. And,
yeah, like, again, I was newer. I didn't have as much knowledge as I do now. So like, have you ever had a situation where you just get so frustrated with a software or a tool and you're just like, screw it?
Oh yeah.
So it's sitting up there just depreciating every single day.
Sell it. Those things go for 150, 200 bucks.
Yeah, so for years I was just using my phone, but recently after Romer the Roamer came through my house, he got me inspired. He has a Dymo scanner, which I've been promoting on this channel. It's only 60 bucks.
That's his product.
I feel like he private labeled it, right?
Because he talks nonstop about it.
But it's big, it's bulky.
It's like a garage door opener. It's probably 4 inches tall by like 2 or 3 inches wide versus this is very, very small.
But it works great. But I noticed like the laser, actually our good friend Jim Pickens, he has a video where he compares the different ones. And you'll notice that that one's typically the brightest. There might be another one out there that's brighter, I'm not sure. But the Dymo I have was like the least bright laser. So what that means is you really have to be up close, or if you're outside or something.
Yeah, especially if you do garage sales. And the reason I have the 2002, actually Reezy told me this, was the 2002 has a brighter laser. So it's exactly to your point.
Really?
This works better in direct sunlight. So if you get the 2006, I think they kind of dialed it back probably due to safety concerns.
But does that link up to my phone easily?
Oh yeah. They all should, and Bluetooth's getting better and better. Sometimes older phones won't have Bluetooth that's as good. The nice part with the Dymo or even the iYoyo or some of those, if I'm saying that
What's
right.
What's the KD? There's the one Reezy.
There's a KDC.
I know Reezy was using that for a while.
KDC 200.
Yeah.
There's tons of barcode scanners. You can spend anywhere between 50, 60 bucks to 300 or 400. There's a socket scanner. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day as long as it works. I like this one. It's smaller. So what I do is I've got Velcro on the back of this, Velcro on the back of my phone. I actually push those together. It's actually a stronger Velcro. I forget.
But can you have a
like
phone case on your phone, or do you have to do it?
You can. So
do you have a phone case on yours?
I don't have a phone case.
God, you're ballsy, bro.
I've broken it once, but it's a little shout out. My brother works for Google, so it's a Google Pixel. But so I've got this. What that allows me to do is operate with one hand. So I can point and shoot, and I can literally scan barcodes with one hand. So one hand pulls the book off the shelf, the other hand together does this. The other way to do it is people will actually set the phone, like Avery will set the phone up on the shelf.
I see guys like that all the time.
And then kind of use the scanner in the other hand. The downside of that is, you know, you have to keep resituating the phone, or maybe someone could come snatch your phone, I guess.
Yeah, one of the things, I want to kind of go back to the scouting app. So he has Scout IQ on his phone. He's the founder of it. And I started using it, how long ago did I really get into it? Probably 3 or 4 months. I mean, I played with it a couple years ago, but I just got, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if you guys can relate, but like, I get so like caught up in my ways that I just
you're
like
used to something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to change can be difficult.
Yeah. So I've been using Scout IQ like every single day now, and I got my mother into it as well. And what I really love about it most is I could set up my my AirPods. I put my Apple AirPods in my ear, and
You're one of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm lazy.
No, they're awesome.
I don't want to be analyzing each deal, but you put it in your ear. I have a video on this. I'll post it right here. I was actually teaching one of my friends how to do it right there, and I show you live, but it'll like beep in your ear a noise that'll mean yes or no. You can see the green or the red on the screen. What else do I enjoy about it? Oh yeah, there's triggers, so you can set up triggers. Actually, matter of fact, and this was a big misconception I had why I didn't get in Scottie Peeler earlier, is because I thought you had to set up all these like custom triggers, and triggers are just rules that tell you to buy or not.
Exactly.
But there's a default trigger.
Because you will go very, very fast. As fast as you can pull a book out and scan it, it's the data.
But I feel like it doesn't pull up all the books on database.
It will soon. So we crowdsourced the data, and actually we actually pushed out a pretty good update 2 weeks ago now.
Okay, because I haven't been using the database mode much because I usually use it if I don't have internet, which is great. Because if you have no internet, you ever go to a thrift store and you have no internet and you're like, like what do I do? Database mode, you don't need the internet.
Yep, and it's also faster. So Live talks to Amazon. It takes about a second. We've got some comparison videos you can watch as well on our channel. But Live takes about a second, and it's not going to slow you down that much.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of times speed is king, and in books, you're going to scan 100 books and maybe pull 2 to 3 to 5. So it's more about how quickly can you get through the bad books before you get to the good ones.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
So
because
speed's important.
People quit because they go through a couple hundred books and they only find a few.
That's the name of the game, yeah.
but that's the name of the game. But people are using the Amazon seller app with no scanner,
So you got to
with
click
no
2
triggers.
or 3 times.
They're having to analyze everything, and it takes 3 hours versus 100 books. We could probably go through 100 books in like a couple minutes.
I can usually do.
It's not that hard.
I'm being a blank. I can usually scan
10
anywhere
minutes?
between 700 to 1,000 books in an hour.
Yeah.
And that's like actually looking at the data and making decisions. If you're
Yeah.
just going off audio, you could probably go quicker.
Yeah.
But again, it comes preloaded with triggers or rules. So again, you can see it's green there. If you scan a book that it doesn't like, it'll actually turn red and say don't buy it. And so if you're brand new and you don't understand sales rank, you don't know all the fees, so here's one. We showed this in the other video. So it's going to say reject. It kind of turns red at the top and says reject. But what it does is, if you don't know anything about books, you can literally get this app, scan books. If it turns green, you should buy the book. Unless it's $8 or $10 or $12, you have to make a decision. You can change the buy costs.
Yeah.
But essentially, you don't have to know anything. And again, for those of you that have been in the game a long time, you might not like that, but we're trying to make it easy for people to get into the game and start a side hustle and change their lives, essentially.
Yeah.
So scan books, you can adjust the triggers later, you can tweak them, edit them, add new ones, but it comes pre-built. You don't have to know anything about selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
If it turns green, it's probably worth buying, and then you got to take it home and list it.
A 5-year-old, I feel like, can do it. It's that simple.
Well, and the test for us is, like, your mom is a perfect candidate. We tried to get her to convert. She goes, nope, I love the seller app. And now that she's switched, she's loving it.
Yeah, now I just converted her from listing on the Amazon seller app to what we're going to transition into now. Is it okay if we transition into listing?
Yeah. So scouting's great. Again, you don't need it if you're on a budget. Again, Amazon seller app, use your phone's camera. You don't have to spend any money outside of your smartphone, which you should have. If you do have the money, a barcode scanner, 50 to 200 bucks. You can find them used on eBay occasionally. The market for these has gone up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'll give you a link. I've got a stack of these at home. We can sell some if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you want to go quicker, get a database app like Scout IQ and get a barcode scanner, because that will speed you up. And again, if you can get through 1,000 books in an hour as opposed to 250, you're going to find 4 times the books. It's just simple math.
Yeah. So look into it for sure.
Cool. All right, so we've got some books.
I'll put links below if you're interested. Everyone's always like, how do I get it? Links will be down below.
All right, we've got books. That's a bad one. That's a good one. We've got the books. We take them home. Now what? How do we get these magically listed onto Amazon?
So what most people are going to do is they're going to log into their Amazon Seller Central, and then they're going to start listing through the Amazon dashboard. That's what I did for years.
Yeah. So you find the product on Amazon.
Yeah.
There's an option that says create a listing or add a listing.
So what they do is they type in the barcode.
Yep.
It pops up. You choose the product, and I don't even remember anymore because I don't use Amazon Seller.
You can add a SKU if you want.
Yeah.
You pick the condition. You type in some condition notes.
Yeah.
You put a price. And then you say, do you want Amazon to fulfill or merchant to fulfill?
Yeah.
And then you click add to shipment.
But there's like 3 pages you have to go through. It's like, are there batteries in this? They ask you like all these crazy questions.
It's annoying, yeah.
So
that's one option.
That's one option. It's a long,
and again, if you're on a budget,
grueling process. But if you're on a budget
free.
and if you're new, just use it. But just know, once you start making money, you want to say buy. Buy Amazon, listing through Amazon as quick as you can. Why? Because the level of stress that you have to deal with or your time is valuable.
Well, and again, if you can list, like for me, we do about, my wife and I work together, and if we're really cranking, we can get through 200 to 250 books in an hour.
Yeah.
And if we're watching Netflix and eating popcorn, then maybe we get to, about 100 to 150 combined together. So if you try and do that through Seller Central and list 100 books, it's going to take you 2 hours, 3 hours.
That's going to be 2 to 3 times longer. So if you want to speed up the process and also have some cool